It's tough to see. That's how Jack Draper described the storm surrounding Jannik Sinner's shocking Davis Cup withdrawal, a decision that's turned into one of the biggest talking points in Italian tennis this month. From fan outrage to former legends calling it a slap in the face, the world seems divided. But Draper? He's standing by Sinner, and he's not holding back. Welcome to Net Rush Report, your home for the biggest tennis headlines, emotional player reactions, and everything happening on and off the court. If you love deep tennis analysis and behind-the-scenes stories from your favorite players, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because we're diving right into this Sinner-Draper story. Just days ago, Jannik Sinner dropped a bombshell on Italian tennis fans. Despite leading Italy to back-to-back Davis Cup titles in 2023 and 2024, the world number 2 announced he won't be representing his country this year. The reason? Rest. After a long, grueling, yet incredibly successful season, one that saw him lift multiple major titles, Sinner decided it was time to prioritize his body and prepare early for 2026. But that decision didn't go over well back home, that a consumer rights group in Italy went as far as to suggest his national honors should be revoked, claiming his absence disrespects the flag. Even a former Italian tennis legend labeled the move a slap in the face to the sport and to fans who see Davis Cup as sacred. Sinner, however, has kept his response professional and calm. He made it clear that after months of constant travel, high-intensity matches, and the pressure of chasing the number 1 ranking, he needed time to recover, mentally and physically. And that's where Jack Draper stepped in. In a recent episode of the tennis podcast by The Athletic, Jack Draper was asked about Sinner's decision and the criticism that followed. His response was firm but empathetic. "It's tough to see people criticize Jannik like that," Draper said. "What he's done this year, it's been incredible. People don't realize how much physical and mental energy goes into maintaining that level across the season." Draper went on to explain that the tennis schedule can be brutal, and for someone who's been through an injury-plagued season himself, he understands the toll it takes. "Everyone wants to play for their country," Draper added, "but sometimes your body just says no. You've got to listen to it." His words resonated with fans, especially those who know Draper's own struggles in 2025. Jack Draper's rise this season was nothing short of electric. He stormed through the ATP circuit, capturing his first Masters 1000 title at Indian Wells and making a dream run to the Madrid Open final by mid-year. He had broken into the ATP top 5, and experts were already calling him the future of British tennis. But then came the setback that a persistent left arm injury started to nag him during the summer. It worsened at the US Open, forcing him to withdraw, and eventually, to shut down his entire season in September. It was a heartbreaking call for a player riding such momentum. "It's hard when you have to stop," Draper said in that same interview. "But sometimes it's the only way to protect your future." So, when he saw fans turning on Sinner for doing exactly that, protecting his long-term career, Draper couldn't stay silent. Let's be honest, Jannik Sinner has carried a heavyweight schedule in 2025. He's won the Australian Open, Wimbledon, and the Rolex Paris Masters. He spent most of the year as world number 1, only losing the top spot to Carlos Alcaraz after the US Open. He's now preparing for one last push, the ATP Finals in Turin, where he could reclaim the year-end number 1 ranking in front of his home fans. That's a monumental task, both physically and mentally. So when you consider that, it's easier to see why Sinner's skipping the Davis Cup makes sense. Draper certainly sees it that way. "When you're playing for the number 1 ranking, you've got to think long-term," Draper noted. He's not saying no to Italy. He's saying yes to his health. It's a perspective many players share, but few have the courage to say out loud. Fans online remain split. Some believe national representation is sacred and should come before everything. Others argue that players aren't machines, that they deserve to set their own limits. Draper's words have sparked an important debate about player burnout, mental health, and the unrealistic expectations placed on tennis stars. After all, Sinner is only 24, and he's been competing nonstop since he was a teenager. The Davis Cup may be a matter of national pride, but longevity in tennis is about balance, and Draper's defense shows something deeper, a new wave of players willing to speak up for each other, even across national lines. For Draper, the focus is all on recovery. He's already back to light training and plans to return fully fit for the 2026 season. With his newfound maturity and the confidence from his breakout year, he could be a serious threat in the next ADP cycle. As for Sinner, all eyes are on Turin. The Nitto ADP Finals could be the perfect stage for him to silence critics and close out his incredible year with one more defining performance. If he reclaims the world #1 spot, it would be poetic, a reminder that sometimes the toughest decisions are the smartest ones. At the end of the day, both Jack Draper and Jannik Sinner are teaching the same lesson. Listening to your body is not weakness, it's wisdom. So what do you think? Was Sinner right to skip the Davis Cup to focus on recovery and preparation? Or should national duty always come first in tennis? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another update from NetRush Report, where tennis stories come alive.